like straight up.
All right, we're gonna bring in Marantz. Everybody in the chat, show some fucking respect to this man. Look, me and Marantz sometimes don't get along. It's okay. We don't agree on certain things. That doesn't mean that at the end of the day that maybe might have a fucking beer, you know? Maybe sometime in the future we may enjoy a beer together, you know, and laugh about some of the things that we disagreed on. So I'm gonna bring in Marantz. He's entitled to his own opinion. And sit tight. He's gonna come in now. So. Everyone give a warm welcome to Rants. What's going on, man?
Hey, thank you guys so much. 1 second. I was posting this for you in the Discord. Okay. Let them know that I'm live with you, even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you guys got.
No worries, man.
Let's just clear this up right now, okay? I enjoy your guys' show. I come watch it every day. You're live.
Awesome.
I have nothing against you guys. Certainly not even you, PBCs. If you live in this world of YouTube, people go at it, and that's fine. I'm an adult. I'm a grown man about it.
Right.
But let's talk about the real numbers, the real motive and leverage. Right. So
let's hear it.
Let's just put it out there. ABC's very bullish. Right. All you guys are bullish. And you know, it's your money. It's your money to lose. It's your money to put in. It's not me. I don't care. But I want to touch on something that we just talked about that you guys just said while I was driving was, and shout out to everybody in the chat. Obviously you guys know, you guys have been around for a long time, so I appreciate it. Yeah. But would I buy in if Ryan Cohen bought in, right? Like if that announcement came in.
Like honestly, like no bullshit aside, would you?
Yeah. Would I buy in? No. I would never touch any stock. No, I'll explain to you.
Well, let's hear his reasoning.
Sure. So let's go back because you wanted to compare it to like 2 years ago. You were like, well, if it was 3 years ago when the whole world was talking shit about GameStop,
right?
You would have been no, because there was no other stock for me to buy, right? So like if everyone in the world is talking bad about Bed Bath & Beyond, that's okay. I can still buy GameStop. Like I still know what GameStop is. It's kind of like I don't agree with Kai's, right? The crazy man, because he's always saying he's infatuated with Ryan Cohen, but yet he won't buy the one thing that Ryan Cohen's in. That's what I don't understand. It's like we all know he's in GameStop. Well, then that's where I'm at, right? Because I
that's a good point. I like that,
and I respect what he's doing. So I don't need to go guess or risk my position. You know, I have a large position in GameStop. We know this. I know it's all I ever talk about. I talk about AMC too. I shit on them.
Yeah, fuck the AMC shit.
I think that I leave Bed Bath & Beyond alone just enough. Like I don't badmouth them. I don't say they're terrible leadership. They don't have a business plan. I don't do any of that. What I said was, I looked at the balance sheet. I don't see how they come out of that without mass dilution.
Right.
They got to help up. I mean, they got that, that whatever. They got help at the final hour, I should say.
They have a lot of debt. There's no, I mean, you're not wrong about it.
What was the reasons you got into GameStop though in the first place?
Me personally? Well, I love retail. And I don't mean retail the investor. I love retail in general. Like I can't tell you what it's kind of like a conflict of interest, but
that's all right.
I come from a retail background, like at a very high level. So that's what I do for a living. And then I don't reflect that onto people. Like I understand balance sheets to the point where I know what's profitable for retail, like what they're going to be doing. So that's why I team up with running from Bears instead of running with.
Yeah, he's a smart guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very intelligent.
He is.
On the breaking down liabilities part. My specialty is going to be more on the controllables, right? Like the SG&A, and I would tell you what we call like maintenance supplies, the things that you can control, payroll. And when I start factoring in all those things, see, I do that at an operations level. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. GameStops they're better operators, and that's every store, that's every director, that's at the bottom level. Then that's cultural over time. So what they're building right now in a year and a half, this transition, this pivot, I'm all in on it because I see it coming from a mile away, and I love it. I love what they're doing. Bed Bath & Beyond hasn't proven to me that they're ready for that. What they've done the unthinkable. They've chopped off major portions of this company to remain afloat, which is where great.
Me was in 2020. Like my train of thought is if Bed Bath had a squeeze like situation and they sold into it just like GameStop and had $1 billion cash and then gave a turnaround plan, would then you be interested?
Yeah. What
all that happened with GameStop behind closed doors. It only became available to you in terms of public information once GameStop had already shot to $400. So my train of thought is like, I don't know. It seems like the same setup, yet people aren't looking at like
Well,
that. Like,
what's
you know
the
what I mean?
leadership behind? Like, we don't know beyond just the board of directors and employees of Bed Bath & Beyond. We don't know what private equity, what VCs are coming in, venture capitals. We don't know what other money's on the table that's going to make decisions.
RC flipping some people, though, get you excited? Like, I know there's only one person left, but like that could be the reason why they left is because the job's done type deal. Like, I know a lot of that seems like copium, but like, doesn't 3 of the board directors changing to Ryan Cohen's people get you a little excited?
Well, one of them left, right? Last week?
2 of them.
Actually, 2 of them, yeah.
Okay, I didn't pay attention. So 2 left. And, you know, and their specialties was M&A, right?
Right.
So when I look at it, it's not that I get excited whoever Ryan's rolling with. Like, I don't go that route.
Sure.
I've studied enough to know that a strong balance sheet comes associated with that. Like, you know, when people say fundamentals don't matter.
But GameStop had a shit one.
No,
and then it's squeezed.
Here's
the thing,
before, I mean, right? Was it
the thing with
2021 January?
Here's the thing with
shit.
GameStop. GameStop had their financials were fine, but all the media stuff that was coming out at the time was saying that GameStop is going bankrupt.
Yeah.
They're a shit company. You know, that was the main thing, is that anyone who looked in the financial could see, wait a second, this company's not going bankrupt. This company is actually this company is very undervalued for what it is.
And to me, that's all that matters.
You know, this is the difference between GME and Bed Bath, is that Bed Bath, we can all agree, whether we're bullish or bearish, the company has awful fucking financials.
Sure,
they have terrible financials. They're in debt. They have all this shit going on. But look, let's look at the facts. Right, but let's look at the facts, right? The facts is that they had an accelerated loan that was being called back by JPM, and then all of a sudden they have some magical fucking buyer who comes in 24 hours later, injects money in the company. We don't even know who's holding the warrants, right? So we can't even say whether or not this is a bearish or bullish move because we honestly have no idea, right?
Remember what D-Fuck Value said? He said that his shit looks the best when the numbers look like shit. He gets his biggest returns when things look like bankruptcy, and then suddenly they're not. Just like GameStop.
And look, that's exactly the thing. Like, Marantz, I watched your video where you talked about this, where you were going over the balance sheet and stuff, and you said you had made some comments originally, and then you sat down with Running with Bears, and he kind of schooled you on some of the stuff, and then you went back and you had a new look on. You started looking at the balance sheet and you went over it, and I agree with you on it. Like, the balance sheet looks like shit. The fundamentals are shit. We totally understand that. But the thing is, we're not looking at it in the essence of the fundamentals and where the company's at currently right now. We're looking at it and trying to get ahead of the game and saying, what is going to happen in the future? We think something's going on with this company, and I want to get on the train before that thing blows up. You're looking at GME saying, now after it has blown up and they're already in a better position, I'm behind it and I like the company. We're trying to get ahead of that. We want to be there before that happens.
I don't agree with that, because I've seen everyone here buy call contracts for the month or for the week.
It's just, it's all in fun.
Bro, we thought it was going to pop in fucking January. We're like, any minute.
Here's the fucking deal, Marantz. I love calls, man, but I also buy quite a bit of shares. So look, I may be a DGen, and look, we play around a little bit. Yeah, I'm a fucking loser. I spend all my fucking money on calls. Look, the reality is that I have the money to blow on calls. I own a fucking business, man. I can do whatever the fuck I want. If my business makes $5,000 a month, I can take whatever money, pay the rent, pay the bills, and I can take whatever's left over and I can buy calls. So look, my fact is that I understand that where you're coming from, the company's financials look like shit, everything else, bankruptcy, dilution. Yes, it looks bad, right? But here's the deal. I'm just curious, out of curiosity, when did you buy your very first position in GME? What was the price of GameStop when you first bought in? Because personally, I bought in when it was about $80 right before the squeeze to $450, $500 a share. I'm curious when you got into the stock.
On GME?
Yeah.
It was in February. 2 days
when it dropped to 50.
43, 44, 43. I have a print screen of it.
You have a good entry then. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not even the entry. I mean, think about the cost average all the way down. I've been buying for 2 years, man. I mean, I post my buy orders every morning. I literally buy every day. And I don't sell.
Here's what I like about Marantz. Marantz, you're so convicted to GME, and I'll tell you, you're on the right
I love
side.
that too, man.
You're on the right side of the table. And
I appreciate that. And I think you guys are too.
I'm
really
clearly.
I want to say this part. I don't want to say it's because I heard this in the truck, and I had the windows down. It's 40. It's cold, and I felt good because PP was giving me a headache. He said, my risk to reward at $1.50 on Bed Bath & Beyond is better than me buying GameStop at this current moment, right? Like he would rather flip that money and go throw it into GameStop and go that way. Well,
$20 versus $1, yeah.
In my opinion, they're equal. I'll just say that.
Here's the thing, guys. How much money should I be putting in at $1.50 to get some type of return for what I will get for GameStop? And the reason why I say it is because whenever somebody says I can't go down any further or I can't lose more than this, well, if I put in 50 grand today, I'm going to lose a good chunk of it.
Absolutely, because the stock's being fucked with. Yeah, absolutely.
But if I put in 50 grand on GameStop,
you're not going to lose much.
Go up from here.
Yo, GameStop is down just as much. Not gonna lie.
Look, it's like but here's the deal. GameStop is not as fucked with as Bed Bath & Beyond because GameStop has such a large DRS. I mean, what have you guys locked up like in DRS? Like 70%.
GameStop has control on that.
Yeah, 60% of free float.
Yeah. Okay, so they've locked up 60% of free float. The company can't be fucked as much as it can with Bed Bath. The thing that I said earlier with yes, the risk to reward ratio is significantly cheaper. I mean, we're talking a 20x less than GameStop is. The only reason I'm telling you is like, look, Marantz, like short term. If you're not in long term, fuck it, right? But like short term, you've seen the stock run up 600% in January. You saw it run up 100% in February. I just don't understand why you wouldn't take a little bit of capital. And I understand your reasoning. Look, because you can put if your capital is safer in GameStop, I support it, man. I like GameStop. I'm an original ape, 2028, man.
I don't know how you sold. I don't know how you sold.
I just like it's like for me, the thing is that I can simply get back into GameStop because it's not very volatile, right? The stock is not super volatile. It's not going down to $5 a stock. It's not going to 20, and we know the 4-to-1 split. Technically the stock is technically priced at $80 a share. Right.
Correct.
We can agree that the stock has not been fucked with. But
that's why I've been averaging down this whole year.
It hasn't moved.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong to put your money in a safe play because look, if you're going from a trader stance of someone who's trying to play it safe, look, if you had to tell me if I had a choice, Bed Bath & Beyond or GME, and I was really worried for my money, I would put it into GME because I know the losses are significantly less compared to Bed Bath. But the thing is that this company is so suppressed. This company is so fucked with. Everybody thought it was going bankrupt. It hasn't gone bankrupt. Everybody thought there was dilution. There's been no dilution reflected in the market. So until we see that kind of dilution, I'll say, look, I'll tip my hat off to Marantz, and I'll say, look, I was wrong. The company's been diluted. My stocks that I have are now worth even less than I thought originally.
Can we wait for a second there, people?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, so I don't need a tip of the hat, right? Like that's not what we're here for. We're not here to say like you're right, I'm wrong, or whatever it may be.
Sure.
Like we give out information. Like I gave out factual information. When I say Bed Bath & Beyond is going to file for bankruptcy, they were a day away from filing, and they were. I mean, Bears was saying the same thing. Bears was saying, and they closed off everything in Canada, and they have no more, Harmon stores of operating. Sure. I mean, and we're talking about liquidation down of half their stores.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of filing for bankruptcy. I mean, it's putting you in the grips now. Right. At what point, and I'm just saying this as an investor, at what point do I look at $1 billion and respect it? Mm-hmm. The debt being $1 billion.
The main thing is that, look, you have a person who came into the company who injected $1 billion, right? You have NDA signed where we don't know who holds the warrants. All the FUD, like, FUD, man. Like, you're in GameStop. The FUD comes out left and right. The media outlets are not in your best interest, right? So why is there this specific attacking of the Ryan Cohen? Oh, he's in Alibaba. He's in Nordstrom. Why would they not just why is the focus on Ryan Cohen?
I totally agree with that.
It's like you have to understand that something is fishy about this play, right? And even Bears, a CPA that you had on your show, right? We all agree. Like even Bears, like I look up to what he says. He's a very smart individual. You know the same thing. And like Bears was telling me the same thing. This thing is 2 days away from bankruptcy, and we didn't see bankruptcy. And I called the bluff on the bankruptcy because I knew the company would not be heading towards bankruptcy. Here's the facts, Marantz. Someone injected $1 billion in equity. We do not know who injected $1 billion in equity, right? So it's just like I'm just curious, why would it stop you if it was, let's say it's GME or let's say it's Ryan Cohen? What would stop you from buying this stock at $1 when if someone like Ryan Cohen, who is highly praised for what he did with GameStop, how he turned around the company, because we can agree that back in 2019 GME was not that great. GameStop was shit. You go into a store, you get fucking ripped off. You buy a brand new game let's be honest. Before Ryan Cohen, you could go into a GameStop, a used copy of a game was $54.99 and a brand new copy was $40. Because why? Because the company makes more money on the used copies of games, right?
Yeah,
we can both agree that Ryan Cohen came in, he changed the company around. They sell a lot more things now. The company is fantastic in my opinion. But what would stop you? What is the reason that would stop you? Is it just the FOMO in general, or what is your reasoning that if Ryan Cohen or GME came out and said, yes, we're the ones who injected $1 billion, what would stop you from investing in that company? Because to be honest, it benefits
there's two ways of doing it, what you're asking.
Let's hear it. Yeah.
So the first thing is you're asking what's stopping me now versus what would stop me after the fact.
Let's hear both.
Before I ever know who's doing it and what's doing what, I have a whole series called Connecting the Dots. I don't know if you've seen them yet.
I haven't.
Yeah, it's 1 through 5, connecting the dots. And it connects the dots from private equity onto leverage buyouts on publicly traded companies.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to watch it because it would educate the whole.
I'll check it out when I have some free time.
It's really good. What it does is it shows you how there are numerous private equity firms, and I can tell you the 8 big ones, right? And if they're in your company, you better run. You better run because the playbook is to leverage you, force you to borrow the money. Then, like Bed Bath & Beyond's doing right now, they're stretched thin, they're leveraged. Now they're forced to borrow the money. At the dawn of it, right? They have to go take this $1 billion buyout. But who is it? Because what they will do, and they do this because you're in this environment right now, and this is a distressed credit cycle. So right now, for these last 5 years, whatever it may be, it's hard to borrow money. The Fed rates keep going up. This is not a Covey light bond era. These are the junk bonds. These are the high yield bonds. This is the distressed credit wave that you have. And you get this cycle every 13 years, every 10 years. So you're sitting on it right now. You're looking at it. And if it's one of those guys that are in your stock, hell no, I'm not touching it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not buying in on the unknown. I can't buy in on something that I don't know. Yeah. There's no way I could ever. It's like you saying, I'm going to bet money on this team.
So,
can I jump in?
You don't know the players on the team.
So let me ask you this. In 2019, when Ryan Cohen wasn't invested in the stock and all the media was saying the stock was $2, would you have bought in at $2? Be honest. Would you have bought in at $2? No. Okay. No. That's all I wanted to hear.
Like that's the thing. Like you were saying earlier, like you like to go on facts and that is what you like to go on. And you're saying now you're like, I can't buy in on it on the unknown. And I totally get that and I totally respect that. And that's your choice and that's your way of investing.
Which is an appropriate way to trade stocks.
Yeah, it's totally a good way to trade. But like what we're looking at trying to do is we're trying to play on the speculation.
Yeah.
We're trying to play on the speculation, and you can make big money on the speculation if you hit it right.
Like that's what we're looking at. Imagine if you had bought GameStop at $2 and it squeezed to $450. Imagine you didn't even buy it at $43 in February. Imagine you rode those highs to $450. It's like, you and I can agree that we've been in a situation where we've been lied to, right? We've been lied to by the media, and we've been taken advantage of, and that's one thing we can agree on. And look, I respect your decision not investing in this stock based off speculation because, look, you are a smart man. You understand where you want to put your hard-earned money. I earn money just as hard as you do, right? Regardless if I own a business or you work for someone, we both work the same amount of hours and we both work around the same amount of time to make money, right? But the fact is that what would stop you from getting into this play and I'm curious because now we covered the speculation, but let's say it's confirmed it's GameStop, or let's say it's confirmed it's Ryan Cohen. What would stop you from investing in this company? Because you know what Ryan Cohen did with GameStop. He came in and he completely revamped exactly what they've been doing for years. What would stop you from investing in this company if Ryan Cohen, who changed GameStop, what would change you? What is your opinion on if it came out that GameStop or Ryan Cohen were involved in this play? How would you feel then?
Well, I'd feel like it's the dumbest move ever.
Okay.
And I tell you that because anyone who's on the investment side of this wouldn't save Bed Bath & Beyond. What they would do, they would allow them to file for bankruptcy, buy them for pennies on the dollar.
Which is smart, yeah. Right.
That's just a business side of it. And I would never see anyone doing different. That's why it's hard for me to believe that I don't know who would invest into a company that has.
I agree. Someone did, Morant. Someone injected $1 billion into the company with shitty ass financing.
No, and I get that part, but that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Right.
The private equity side, the leverage buyout side of it. You could give somebody more rope and put covenants on it and call those covenants. Go look at AMC, guys. This is like the perfect test. You go look at how far stretched they are, and they waive 3 different things.
AMC is fucked.
But they waived the covenants for a year. So what does that
AMC
do?
has
That allows
an
people
infinite
to
dilution tool.
for another year.
AMC has an infinite dilution tool of ape, and it still explodes every 6 months.
But let's
like straight up.
Like
if you think about it, it exploded 2 weeks ago. It shouldn't have. It has ape. So why is it hitting $9 per share when it has ape when they can do
higher than 10?
Let's not focus on AMC.
You know what I mean?
Morantz and I can agree that I don't like AMC just as much as he does. That's the one thing that we can agree on. Well, real quick, hold on. I want to hear from Morantz. What would stop you from entering in this company if let's say your favorite company, GME, plans to do something with Jamaica and Bed Bath & Beyond? Let's say Ryan Cohen's involved. So at that point, what would be going through your head at that point if it is Ryan Cohen, if it is GME? What's going through your head at that point?
Well, I've always said. I said that if anyone's in a stock or in a company before it ever explodes, I give them a golf clap. I'm happy. Okay. Happy for everybody if they.
So you're not getting in if Ryan Cohen's involved.
No way. Look at the amount of debt they're carrying. They're just. It's not a fundamental investment for anyone.
But let's say one thing is that look, they paid $500 million towards their ABL, and then JPM went out and handed them another $100 million. Is that typical in a situation where someone who's a creditor says, "Yeah, this company's going bankrupt"? Why would they loan them additional money, Morantz? So where does it make sense?
So when you're trying to file for bankruptcy, you're trying to secure DIP financing, and when you secure that lending, you actually have to show your creditors that you're capable of running your business continually. Yeah. Right. So that you stay in business, even though you file for bankruptcy, you still keep the doors open, and you're finding another suitor for this company and for the incurred debt. That's how it works for most companies. They keep the lights on, they keep the vendors paid. In this case, they're doing the complete opposite. They're actually shutting down the amount of products that they hold. They're not buying new product. They're doing the complete opposite. And what that means is, no, I don't think bankruptcy is coming, but I think they're going to shrink enough to where they get nimble. They can maybe become profitable one day, but it's a large turn. It's like trying to turn the Titanic with the paddle. It's going to be that way right now. Yeah, but I'm all for it, guys. If it explodes, are you kidding? Everyone in this chat is going to be rich. All you guys are going to be so damn happy.
We're going to buy GME, man.
Yeah, the whole world. I get that part. But like a guy like me, I can't be swayed, right?
That's okay.
I married the wife that I have for 15 years. I have the 5 children I have. I have the one career that I love. I have the one stock that I love. I go with it that way. Hey, I've been buying Costco for like a whole decade. And I've had it at under at $102, $106.
That's pretty good.
It hit $600.
Yeah, that's a pretty good return, man.
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'm just going to jump in.
Go ahead.
Let AB. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
And then AB, and then
with
ABC after.
GME, it went on Reg Show for XYZ amount of days, regardless of when the threshold regulatory rules forced settlements. Failure to delivers on Reg Show is the reason why GameStop started to explode, and then options, Gamma Ramp, of FOMO from Wall Street Bets and everybody else piling in is what made it shoot to 400. We have an SEC filing that says the reason why it blew up is because of options being exercised. So why don't you think that's going to happen with Bed Bath? I'm confused because we're on Reg Show for 35 days. I think any day now, within a week, we're going to have settlement coverings, which shoots us to a certain point that forces a little bit of FOMO with exercising the call.
It's the speculation for Morantz is what.
That's exactly what happened.
It's all speculation. Reg show, short.
The only reason why we shot up is because we were on a threshold security list that forced us to do coverings of failure delivers. If that's the same with Bed Bath, then we're going to explode within the next 5 days.
And Morantz is all for it, man. He's all for it,
but he has no position.
No, he doesn't.
Let me talk.
Yeah, go ABC.
Let ABC.
You guys have to know that there are subject matter experts at things, like people that study stuff all day and night. Whether you don't have to play the game to know the game, right? Yeah. Like I don't have to buy that stock to know what the hell the market's going to do. Right. If that happens, what you're saying, I'm all for it, guys. I'm so happy for you guys.
Why not have a position ahead of time? Like why not?
I have to be in it, right?
That's the professional way.
Morantz is exactly right because the fundamentals of this company, and Bears has said it, and that's why Bears is going to work so well with Morantz too on this, because the fundamentals of the company are absolutely fucking
the fundamentals don't matter.
But hold on, here's the proposition: is that I myself too, I look at the critical journey of every business. Are they going to be able to make it? Are they going to be able to get through this threshold? Are they going to be able to survive bankruptcy? And so the fundamentals and the critical journey for GME is a fucking safe return on investment, and that puppy is going to squeeze too. Okay,
no doubt.
And the definition too is that it's very cultural and very tribal because they have a lot more people holding fucking shares as a retail.
Like, why not do both? Like, but the whole reason why we did the whole GME thing, the whole reason why we got in is because we hit 140% on short interest, and then people piled in with exercising calls. That's exactly what's happening with Bed Bath right now. I don't see how people don't see this. Like, forget the company fundamentals. Bed Bath is going to sell into a short squeeze.
Right. Let's hear ABC, and then let's hear Morantz's.
I've just been waiting for a while. I just wanted to jump in.
And also, let's hear it. And also, I want to say, Morantz, is that I appreciate you being very respectful.
I'm always, every interview I've ever done, I'm this way.
Yeah, and look, like you are 110% entitled to your own opinion, and just a lot of some people in the chat are saying HYASF, please let them talk. Yeah, just let ABC say his thing, and let's hear from Morantz, because I think this is really healthy. Regardless, we can all disagree to agree, right? We can agree to disagree on certain things. Let's keep it respectful.
I'm just saying, I haven't talked for like 20 minutes. I was just sitting here, so I don't know why people say I'm interrupting.
No, you've been talking here. I haven't talked.
Hey, you guys,
you know what I mean, though? Like, I'm just sitting here waiting.
Yeah, just use the private chat.
Are you Korean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. 안녕하세요, 아저씨.
Yeah, 안녕하세요, 아저씨.
No, I say Bali, 아저씨.
Yeah, how do you know Korean? How do you know Korean?
I feel like I need to interrupt to jump in. Like,
really? There you go.
Yeah. All right, just here. We'll let ABC talk. We'll let Morantz respond, and then we'll let HYASF respond after. I'm gonna grab another beer. You guys go ahead and
grab it. I'm ready.
I'm gonna grab another beer, man. Might as well, right? Fuck it.
Yeah, you guys have already done the math. You know how bullish I am. On BBBY. However, I'll be quite frank, looking at the critical journey and looking at the possibility of RC, looking at everything that's going on, I wanted to move my entire position into GME because of potential G America, because of the risk involved and everything like that. But because I looked at the fundamentals of GME and what they had been through, and I looked at this opportunity, I saw a much bigger return on my investment. But here's the thing. 30% of what I'm going on is data and metrics. The other part is 70% speculation. If I was to move my entire position to GME, I would squeeze after. So I'd miss on the BBY, but I would be part. And I honestly think GME is actually in a better position because they're actually going to get dividends out of this merger and acquisition. So I look at the opportunity of GME as a smarter fucking play right now, but I look at the return on risk from BBBY going a lot more interesting. And because I'm in in a position that I can have such a large stake and it's very cost effective at $1.50, I get to see a much better multiple for myself. But I love GME because that was the foundation of what this activism is all about. And they built such a culture and a tribal following in that company will never be taken down. AMC is a fucking farce. They goddamn dilute their own players. It's cultural.
AMC shit.
You know, it's not even in the same league as this, because this is actually a league where Ryan Cohen is running GameStop with a lot more down the road, and this company will be here for the long run. And I actually think it'll be one of the top 20 companies in the world eventually once this all takes place. Here, for why the BBY holders are so interested is because that risk return and speculation. It makes it more interesting because right now GME is a little bit fucking boring, but it's a better investment over the long run.
It's a safer investment. You know, there's a long-term squeeze. Yeah, I mean, look, like
I'm not saying boring. You know what I mean, my man.
Yeah, I know what you guys like.
It's a safe play. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know how safe it can be, right? When the whole world thinks it's something it's not. But I'm going to say something really quick. And you copy. I used to live in Daegu, right?
Oh, Daegu. Yeah, I know. Yeah. They
I went to
got
the World
some
Cup
access there.
2002.
Oh shit, Marantz is Korean.
As long as he's not Canadian, it's all good.
For work, or is it because
we don't have subtitles on?
Yeah, no, you're good. I said you're so beautiful. There you go. I'm going to say something to you guys really quick because I have a good question here. My next pair, he's been in my chat before too, and I know, and he has a really good question. He says in here, and there's a Korean guy in the chat too. There's at least that.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah. I'm a YouTuber too, so there's a bunch of.
Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. I'll check you out. So he says, would you stop investing into GameStop if GameStop acquired Bed Bath & Beyond? I would not stop, right? Because I love what GameStop is, but I would definitely question the leadership and the motives behind buying something with so much leveraged debt and who owns the debt. It's not a great business move. That's why I don't see it happening. I remember I interviewed Kais Malej probably 8 months ago. And I was the first guy to ever interview him, right? We went out there and we talked. And he was talking about how they were going to merge together. Yeah. And I let him speak for like a day. And then I came out the next day. And I said what I said. And what I'm going to tell you guys is something. Ryan Cohen is building something. And he's building something. And whenever you think about companies merging to develop something like Gramerica, right?
Sure, yeah.
You guys have to remember that culture comes involved. Like, this is why the middle of the road companies don't all form together to beat out Amazon. It's almost impossible because who's to blame? Like, what status are you guys going to use from company to company that gives you identity? Right? Like GameStop's known for this delighting the customer and it's
synergies, right?
Yeah, all of that. So when you have leadership coming from Bed Bath & Beyond and their business model might be different and what they do and their delivery might be different. And, you know, I give you this example. You had a company called Pay and Pack, right? Pack and Pay? Pack and Pay. I want to remember Pack and Pay back in the 90s. And they were the up and coming thing. They were going to beat out Home Depot. They're going to beat out Walmart, whatever it may be. And they were opening up a store a day. Okay. One store a day. Do you know what kind of culture you're building? None. Who are you hiring? Who are you mentoring? Who are you changing? You're doing none of that. What GameStop has done, they've allowed these RSUs to come out to the store directors and in turn let them vest 33% of their shares over time. So that means that the employee is going to be there. The employee's going to be there for at least 3 to 4 years. You're building retention within the company. So there's the culture, right? Now, over time, you'll get some people out there to the district managers, the regional managers, and they'll teach them at the ground level what the expectation is of GameStop. That's hard to do on a retail level, mass appeal. The problem with Bed Bath & Beyond is now that they're shrinking, okay, and you might want to buy them, they're going to have to go a different direction. Remember, if the core product is no longer making you money, you can't diversify.
Right.
You don't want to diversify that because if you diversify, you diversify, right? So that means like if you change your business model, you have to be all in and you have to have the capital to do it. Right. So the fact that somebody might want to go start selling popcorn now, right? And doing other things.
AMC actually did. They just launched a new popcorn.
They're doing the whole Ant-Man fucking
right. They don't have the capital to push that agenda. Right, guys? And I'm telling you right now, Bed Bath & Beyond is at the mercy of the bond.
Well, let me ask you this.
The creditors run that company. So the fact that they gave them $800 million more dollars, all I'm asking is who did it? When
I am too. I'm asking the same questions.
When I find out who did it, guys, listen. If it's who was it? Lazard? Was that what the rumor was? I don't know how to say the name. I call him Lazard.
Hudson, I think.
Hudson Bay.
Yeah. Carl Icahn.
I don't even care who it is.
Right.
If it's Carl Icahn, right, and you think that they're paired up with Ryan, I have to see something written in stone, because
I agree.
I don't take it for what it's worth. Like, I got a report that told me Carl Icahn is short GameStop shares. Like, still.
Yeah, I see
to this day. Yeah. And I said, well, the only way that's possible is if he's holding them hostage, right? He's holding those shares and telling the other shorters, hey, everything's okay. And then they're going to buy back in, buy it at the bottom, and then this shit's going to rocket, right? Like, it's the fuel to the engine. But for me, the fuel to the engine is the insiders keep buying shares when they get a chance. And they still have $100 million to buy back shares. Like, those are the things I look at. Yeah. I haven't really studied Bed Bath & Beyond as much as I've studied, the companies I'm invested with, or the ones that I try to avoid. But it's not on my list to avoid stuff, because when I looked at the board of directors, I didn't see any snakes yet. I didn't see anybody that really stands out to me like I do in other companies. But when I do see them, guys, I promise you, I'll let you know and I'll tell you the truth. But if GameStop did buy Bed Bath & Beyond and all their debt, it would basically trump everything they've done, all the hard work they've done for the last 3 years.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you this. Let's say the debt gets wiped out because we were able to wipe out $500 million in debt in one fucking day, right? Let's say all the debt is wiped. How would you feel going forward if the debt is wiped and the company is acquired by one of the two, whether it's Ryan Cohen, RC Ventures, or whether it's Carl Icahn, or I know that you're more interested in GME, but if there is a GME connection, right? If there is a Ryan Cohen connection and the debt is wiped, how would you feel going forward then?
I mean, come on. That would be the next.
You'd be putting your fucking money in, right?
There you go. You said it.
You guys,
there it is,
I could show you a way that they wipe the debt. If I could show you a way.
I had to reel you in, man.
It's ridiculous. The price wouldn't be $1.50.
But look, like they cleared $500 million of debt like it was fucking nothing, right?
Like that was just through negotiation.
That was nothing, man. And then look,
sit down.
The bonds are now paid, right? So it's like clearly we have at least at minimum 6 months runway before the company's bankrupt, right? There's still a possibility for this company to go bankrupt. I want everyone to understand at home who's tuning in the show. This company 100% can still go bankrupt.
Yeah, like in 2 quarters, a quarter from now, or 2 quarters.
Correct. Because their expenditure is absolutely astronomical. But here's the deal. Marantz, you can't deny something fucking odd is going on within the company. If the company truly, man, like let's be honest, okay? If the company truly is being purchased for pennies on the dollar, okay, we would already be in bankruptcy right now. No fucking dumb fucking stupid ass fucking investor.
Say one more word.
Sorry, I don't want to get you banned on your YouTube shit. If you're clipping the video,
can I share something with?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You copy.
I mean, like, this is something that I share with everybody before, but maybe you can approve it. Maybe, I don't know.
Let's hear it.
Am I sharing screen right now? Okay, there you go.
You copy. I'm listening.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So this is the original filing from Carl Icahn. It came out Feb 24th, right? So basically, I just highlighted some of the things that it just pop up. So basically, as you know, Carl Icahn, Ryan Cohen is their active investor, as you know. But based on their strategy and what he says, basically, he looked at the company and obviously you're like a very fundamental guy. I could see that, long-term investor, and I respect that too. But, here's the thing, the way the active investor, especially Carl Icahn or RC, to look at the company is they look at, of course, there's things that they, of course, to check, but they look at the company and be like, okay, this is really undervalued, right? And then one of the strategy is here to, you said, Carl Icahn is short on GameStop. There you go. So he long or short equities, but also he he could buy bonds, bank debt. And then those are things that we also saw. Bond price was actually shooting up. back in like when was it? Just 1 second. So basically,
Bonds were
like
shooting up like late January.
Yeah. I actually saved up some file here. Like
Oh my God, look at all those
this
memes.
one. Yeah, so this is an early Jan type of thing. So the bond price was moving up, right? So up to $6. So yeah, this happened in January, right? Mm-hmm. So when I look at the way that active investors, especially call icon, the way you take over the company, or like you said, leverage buyout or merger, yeah, I do feel like he look at the marketplace, it is, shorted by the short sellers, and then he look at the company and like, okay, this is, extremely undervalued. And he also say that he also like to merge. There's another filing that I want to show you, is that he mentioned the value of synergy between acquired company and our existing business. And Call Icon, by the way, he owns West Point Home, which he also sells by BBY kind of products, like towels and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And also he owns Newell, and they recently filed Form 4 filings. And then the board members, the executives, they got all the RSA cash settlement, and also that happened to BBY board members in end of January, right? So, and then also what happened to Redbox when they were acquired. The other company. Anyway, when there was an M&A for other company, all the board members, they got all the RSA, cash settlement, and then they announced M&A. So that's some of the thing that I'm also looking at. Not only just the fundamental. I know that GameStop has, cash flow positive. They got $2 billion or $3 billion, assets. I understand that, but I look at the BBY as a financial health. It is terrible. I mean, they have a $2 billion or whatever debt, but what I'm looking at is like, there's a potential LBO or merger with this type of deal, especially when you're looking at this as a active investor point of view. So that's just one thing.
Sure.
I just want to share. Yeah.
So I'll tell you about an activist investor. There's a guy by the name of Mark Vadden, and not a lot of people know who he is. He's a billionaire. He invented Blue Nile. He then went to Zulily and developed Zulily. He took the whole crew from Zulily and went over to Chewy. He was the CEO of Chewy when Ryan Cohen sold them. He has been giving Ryan Cohen advice for many years. He's the only guy that I know that has become a billionaire in the same environment that Amazon sells, e-commerce, and he selected categories that Amazon wasn't good at, and that's diamonds, women's clothing, and baby clothing. Mm-hmm. He currently is not involved with anything Ryan Cohen's doing, but he's given him advice. Okay? And I've shown the interview that he says it, or that he talks to Ryan Cohen. And he said during these cycles, a cycle like this, where the cash burn rates fluctuate and they go fast and they go high, you stack your money and you don't move. Mm-hmm. You can raise money on those lower cycles, on the cycles where the money's free, where the interest's free. But right now, when it's sky high and you're just trying to stay afloat, this is not the time to expand, buy, and catapult to anything. And you definitely don't make an announcement that you tell the world that you hit oil. You just keep it quiet and you keep it trucking, and you'll let them know when you hit something nice and big. So the fact that no announcements come out of GameStop is what keeps me there. Right. And the more talking they do and the more flailing of the hands, or they're trying to look at me, that's a black eye for me. And I'm not saying Bed Bath & Beyond is doing that, but I'm so enamored by like how the whole world is chasing the next GameStop when you still have GameStop. So like for me, it's never going to happen, right, guys? Like I'm with you, I'm watching you, and we're having these conversations, but you will find out, just like I will, when the private equity is who it is. And if
that's the main question.
Yes, but watch this. I can give you this one, PP. People are buying Ape over AMC because of they said they were buying Ape because the arbitrage effect.
I hate that. I hate that company so much.
No, I know you do. But listen.
God, man,
listen to the thought process and what they've grown accustomed to this world right here in YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter.
Sure.
They've made it, you're numb to it, where you say, you know what, I'm going to buy into something to make a profit, but yet you're buying into the underlying asset that's supporting short hedge funds and distressed credit investors. Why would I ever Why would I ever buy something that I know the bad guys are going to benefit from? I'll stay out of it completely. And I'll watch it, and somebody would probably make money, and somebody's going to call me an idiot for not buying it. Oh, he doesn't know how to invest.
It's just because you didn't want to invest on speculation, which is fair. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Not only that, you're
not the only.
I won't make dirty money. Not all money is good money.
Yeah.
I literally, you could go prostitute yourself. You could go sell yourself in the corner. It doesn't make it a good thing.
We're all working at Wendy's, man.
Well, not me, but you know how it works. But I'm just saying, there's good money and bad money.
Look,
and for me, I'm on the side of good money because I'm one of the good guys. I know as much as people want to pay me out to be a bad guy.
And here's the deal. Like I respect you, man. Like look, we might have a little bit of beef here and there. It's all good fun. It's really just all in good. It's all in good fun.
Yeah.
Look, like, you know, the thing is that you're coming from a perspective of someone who's basically like, you're basically trading like someone who has fucking millions of dollars, right? They're not going to put millions of dollars into a stock that they're unsure of. What if it turns out to be Hudson Bay, right? You're going to be right. You're going to praise all up and down, left and right. Look, I was right. It was Hudson Bay. This company's fucked. But look, if it's not Hudson Bay, and that's what we're all getting at, is that we're calling the bluff that it's Hudson Bay. We might be onto something in terms of a deep value play. The same way GME, when everyone was saying it was going bankrupt, when everyone was saying in the news outlets that nobody's buying anything physical anymore, no one's going to the stores, they were closing. Remember, Marantz, back in 2019, 2020, they were closing 600 plus stores. You and I can agree that, look, we would have not invested in this stock at $2 a share.
Do you know who was in the company back then?
Tell me.
On the board of directors, they had a guy by the name of Bill Simon. Okay. He's a known consultant for KKR. Okay, KKR is one of the largest private equity LBOs, period. Okay, these are the worst of the worst. So if you ever see those three letters together in your stock, you better run. Just like you would if you saw Apollo, Ares, Pegasus, BlackRock, Blackstone, you name it, you run. So KKR was in GameStop. Ryan Cohen knew that. He came in and they pushed him out. Now, here's the crazy part. If you're going to compare 2019 to now, it's totally different. And I'll tell you why. In 2019, you had nothing else to buy. If this were the case, you had Tesla and that was it. So right now, if I'm looking at you and you're saying, well, you have Bed Bath & Beyond and there's skepticism, there might be. It's kind of like 2019. Well, guess what? You still have GameStop that you can buy. So I'd rather put a $20 bill on GameStop than I would put a $2 bill on Bed Bath & Beyond.
I mean, you're not wrong, because the safer bet is GME, and we can all agree on that. We can all agree that
I don't even want to use the word safer. How about the stronger?
It is. 100%.
I mean, it is, like, you know,
it's a stronger company.
Look at,
it's stronger in fundamentals. It's stronger in terms of critical journey down the road.
100%.
100%. And like I said, I would almost move my entire portfolio over there because I have a strong feeling as what's going to happen with GME. But I do believe that the first squeeze is happening here with BBY. So I want to take advantage of that. But you're damn right. I'm going into GME right after this.
The main thing, Marantz, is that Bed Bath & Beyond, I can understand where you're coming from. You don't want to invest in this stock because you don't know. It could potentially be Hudson Bay. And look, if it's Hudson Bay, they'll dilute the stock to like $1, under $1, to where, if you put 20, 50,000
happening right now.
Well, let's look at the facts. We cannot see any form of dilution that's happening currently on the market, right? No matter which way you want to cut the pie or cut the cake, Marantz, you can't argue that the CTBs rising, the CTBs would not be going up if the company was diluting. If the company was diluting, the CTBs would be dropping. We both know that. We both know that as investors. We know that.
Yeah, I don't get too involved in the market mechanics or the plumbing.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
You know, I stick with the fundamentals of companies and the balance sheet. I will say this because I got to get going, guys. You know, I love you guys. Okay.
Hey, we love you too, man. We like having you on.
Okay, and I appreciate you guys and everyone in the chat that is speaking well or not. I have a little saying for you guys.
They're back and forth. You know how it is.
My show has a lot of energy when I'm out there and I'm going, and there's antics involved, sure. But the main part of it, the message is, be smart with your money. Don't risk anything that you're not willing to lose.
Preserve
And-
capital.
What was that, sir?
Preserve capital.
Yeah, I mean, preserve it to a point. Like I go to work, right? I'm a
Of
full-time
course.
YouTuber, but I still work. So if I'm working and I'm live every day, that means that I'm taking that money, just like you, that I'm willing to put into something that's going to pay me later. Sure, I don't need profits. I don't need to sell tomorrow. I don't need to sell next month or next.
If you got your fucking bills paid, then you're in for the long.
That's
term,
what I'm saying. I'm in it forever. But the thing is, like I'll give you this example. I had a cost average so low and it ran up to 347 March 10th, and I didn't even budge.
Yeah,
I was already committed. So if it ran to 400, why would I? That's a 10 bag, right? That's 1,000%.
But we can agree that if you sold in February, you would have been able to buy a way bigger position now, which is.
But
like,
I don't sell and buy back in. What is it?
If you're not swing trading, if you're in for long term, that's
not at all.
Sure.
Never.
Never fucking sell. Diamond hands, man.
I got T-Rowe Price, and I don't even know what price I got those at. I've had those for 10 years, 13 years, 12 years. Whatever it may be. Guys, I'm telling you, I'll be here forever. I will be, but I want to see what happens with your stock, because when it crumbles and it falls to the ground, okay, I'm not mad at you.
Come on, Moran.
No, if that were to happen, and it happens on the LBO side, right, on the private equity side, I want to know who the snake is, because I got another video to make. That's all it is.
Of course, yeah, and look, I'll give it to you, man. If the company crumbles and we're all diluted and we're fucked, look, I'll come on your fucking show and be like,
you're welcome to come on anytime.
RC already removed the snake. He already removed Triton.
Yeah, I heard that. I saw that. But
he's more talking about the warrants.
I'm going to go dig into Bed Bath & Beyond for you guys. I'll make a video. I'll do my DD. I do really deep digs.
Hey, you should come on the show more, man.
You just got to stop blocking me in the chat, and then I'm there. But no,
listen,
it's only when you talk. It's only when you talk shit to some people.
Well, I let it rip, man. I'm not afraid of these guys.
Yeah, I know. You're not a bitch. You're the same way as PP here. You know, we speak our mind
in life. So
it is what it is. Yeah,
I've been staying out of this to let people talk, but I think it's been really good. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think it's been well too. I will say this as I leave out the door. You need to have a space helmet, guys. I have one right there. So your stock's not going to take off until you have one, because you got to have the proper uniform. Here we go. Guys, I appreciate you guys. You know where to find me. Go watch Connecting the Dots. It's going to help you understand what you're dealing with right now, my belief. But, check it out. Or give you some caution, okay? Yeah. Connecting, there's 1 through 5 right now, probably making a part 6 whenever I get some free time to really dig deep. But they're deep digs, okay? 15 to 20 minutes long, and you get some really good information. Yeah. GameStop. Can't stop, won't stop, GameStop. I'm going to see you around.
Marantz, before you leave, man, one thing. Sure. Take the time when you're sitting not streaming, not talking shit on Bed Bath, all good fun. Take the time to not just look at financials, not just look at the FUD. Take the time to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole and of tinfoil, and just kind of open your mind to some of the possibilities that could be coming. Look, if they were able to wipe 500 million off their ABL, they could fucking wipe the rest of the ABL off at any moment. So just keep your mind open. If you're not invested in the stock, it doesn't matter to me. I appreciate you being so respectful tonight. I appreciate the talks. And look, I would like to have you more on the show. I think that if you're a bear man, we want to hear why. And this show has never been one-sided to where, it's like, this is just bullish, the stock's going up. There's going to be ups and downs, but at the same time, if you have the free time, feel free to jump onto the show. And look, man, like I honestly, when I say this, I hope the best for your stock that you're invested in with GameStop. I personally like GameStop. I do think that the risk to reward ratio is a little bit better in terms of Bed Bath & Beyond, whether we can agree or disagree. I respect you, man. I watch your, hey, even though we get into a little bit, I like watching you. I think that you're a very interesting dude.
Man, call me a clown. I get it. Yeah, I'm I get it.
Nah,
hey, HYASF. I know he hasn't spoken since we were speaking earlier, but I just want to say, bro, don't worry about the crowd in the chat, man. It's just us 6 right here talking. I'm not worried about those guys, but you're a good man. I appreciate you. And my apple is ripe or whatever to YOLO. I don't even know what the hell that means. But, ABC, I know he's very convinced, or he's very bullish, I should say. He's bullish as fuck, bro.
He is, man. He is.
No, I really enjoyed the crowd you have here, the roundtable you have, and like I said, invite me anytime. You know how to reach me. If you don't reach me through there, join my Discord. You can reach it there. It's all free, whatever. But you know how to find me. Hey guys, appreciate you guys. I appreciate your video about staying away from Kais. That's a good one for you. Stay away forever.
Kaz has just been a little bit off the edge.
Well, the guy, you know, he is. Believe me, I have a twin brother, right? He said,
I know the whole fucking thing.
It's ridiculous.
I know. Yeah.
I had to live stream my twin brother just so that he knows I have a twin. It's crazy. But no, hey, love you guys so much. Keep killing it.
Bro.
Bed Bath & Beyond. Hey, I'll throw $10 at it. What do you know?
Hey, throw fucking a couple thousand and stop being a little fucking bitch, Marantz. Okay,
well,
you know you're gonna make a killing
to my face. Okay, I live streamed for 8 hours yesterday. I'm exhausted.
I know. I saw. You're fucking crazy, man.
I'm an animal. You're being an animal right now. But I got to get you to bed. How are you ever going to be up for or what is this pre-market? And if you ever want to see it hit $1.30, it's on its way.
Fuck you, dude.
Hey, you guys have a good night. Like,
get the fuck out of here. Have a good fucking night. We'll see you guys.
Cheers, man. See you later.
See you later, bro.
Yeah, see you guys.
See you, man.
And you know what, guys? This is funny because this is a perfect example that in theory, we all have our different risk and thresholds. But what's going to be cool too is remember when we first hit our $5 and we were able to join Wall Street Bets and they kind of shunned us and said, fuck you, we don't even want to be involved. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a transformation too. And, you know, even for him to fucking say, fuck you, you're $1.30, but I'll spend $10 myself. It's all in good fun because really we're all after the shorts, right? And so it takes, the only way somebody changes their belief system is when they find new evidence. And I hope he digs deep and I hope it does kind of shove him down a rabbit hole just so you can see where we're coming from. Because we're a lot more speculative, right? We're a lot more speculative because we don't, but we've also dug really fucking deep. And sometimes I worry that we dig too deep, that we're giving a lot of these shills